the man in the middle today. But Leigh looking for a 6th successive Super League win, John Wells. They are flying at the moment.
Absolutely. They've been really good to watch as well in the process. I spoke to Adrian Lamb on opening weekend about the Leigh Leopards squad. It was a thin squad in terms of numbers, heavily loaded in terms of the salary cap spend in the opening first 17 or 18 players. And there was an inherent risk there that they get to this sort of point in the season and maybe have picked up a few injuries. It's been anything but. 10 ever-presents in there, including all the main players. The risk has paid off for them, and they're playing some cracking rugby.
They are indeed. Third meeting of the season between these two. Will it be third time looking for Wakefield Trinity, who have the ball from the kick-off? Mark Applegarth still awaiting his first win as coach. Will it come here at the Magic Weekend? All carried forward, but they're just over the 20-metre line. But the former Leigh man will come down the short side, and an error and a disappointing start. Sam Hewitt coming up with a spill. Not the start Wakefield wanted.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, it's a poor miss as well, just taking his eyes off the ball for a short second. And an early chance to see just what all the fuss has been about with the Leigh Leopards, and just how they seem to have clicked into gear now. Lachlan Lamb, one to watch for you this afternoon. Wears the number 7 shirt for the Leigh Leopards. He leads the Super League in terms of try assists, 14 try assists. Many of them have been going the way of wingman Josh Charnley, who until yesterday topped the try-scoring list in Super League. That was, of course, until Tom Johnston's remarkable hat-trick in that fantastic win against Wigan.
You feel that is going to be a topsy-turvy battle between those two. As here come the Leopards now, moving it across, and they are going out the back. Well, the tackle is made over on the far side, so Wakefield stand firm from the scrum. What have they got defensively here? As the Leopards looking to carry the ball forward. 20 metres away. Pape, always a threat at dummy half now. Gets the ball away. Asiata now gets it to Lamb. They're going towards this near side, and O'Brien pumps the legs, tackle 5 away. Wakefield under the cosh early on here. Telly gets it away. Lamb. Pape operating centre field now. Ben Reynolds offers the ball out wide. Hardacre looking to get to that far side, but going to be wrapped up, and that's a great response from Wakefield. Brilliant defence on the back of the early error.
First assignment passed, first questions answered by Wakefield Trinity. I'll tell you what's the greater worry, though, and they will celebrate this, and rightly so. The greater worry is just how easily and how slick that Leigh Leopards attacking shape sets up. They'll go play for play across the field. They have a fullback in Gareth O'Brien who's really cultured and experienced a number of different Super League clubs in both the half and fullback position. They drop into shape remarkably easily. That looks really dangerous.
It does. Aided, it has to be said, by the fact that John Asiata, he's like a halfback, isn't he?
Yeah, you've got some ball playing forwards in the middle there. Asiata, Amon, Edwin Apape from the hooking role, who's just got better as the season's gone on.
So Wakefield again looking to bring it off their own end of the field.
Thank you. Still
struggling though here. Great defence. Look at that. Amon, Pape, Mulhern all involved.
Move 2. Hold boys. Go 2. It's okay. I'll tell all in there.
Metres hard to come by for Trinity early on here.
Go third.
Proctor will carry it straight up the middle.
Move up and square.
Need to get to the end of the set here, Wakefield. That's a better run. And a chance now for Lino on the last one.
Extra step, Lachlan.
To try and find some territory over the halfway line. Here he comes now. It's a high kick. It's got good depth on it, but O'Brien is deep and will catch it on the full. And now he'll get the pass away, and here come Leigh.
Big job, I think, for Will Dagger today. Everybody knows about the threats that Mason Lino has. He's the main kicker of the ball. He's the main runner of the ball. He has more offloads than anybody else. He's provided more try assists in the few tries that Wakefield have scored. So his halfback partner today, Will Dagger's got a big job on his hands. He needs to provide, he needs to be a foil. He needs to offer another outlet for Wakefield. Otherwise, it's too easy for Leigh to sort out and to assess.
Move together.
We've got it short of the 40-metre line. We're in their special Magic Weekend strip in support of the A-Team hub that supports children with additional needs, and Funds also going to the Leigh, the Leigh Leopards inclusion teams. As now Leigh up the middle and they offload, and here's a Pape, the last player you want on the end of that offload. 30 away, last one. Lamb jumps in at dummy half. He'll get it away to this near side. O'Brien is going to tease the kick high. Pressure at the back. Lynham, though, comes up with it, but he needs to get to ground, and he does just in time.
Good take. Good take, Tom Lynham. He had an average first carry, went in too tall, got pushed back. It's a good confidence booster for the wingman. Not seen an awful lot of him this year.
Move, John. Hold Edwin. Go to
Wakefield at the moment.
Tom, you're off.
Being strangled for room. They just can't get out of that 20-metre area at the moment. Leigh's aggression. He commented on their attacking abilities, John, but they've come prepared to defend early on here.
Yeah, this is what a coach would call front-loading your energy in defence. They put an awful lot of effort, expend an awful lot of energy, restricting metres. It pays off the other side of the ball for them.
It's a better carry again, though, for Wakefield. They're just shy of halfway.
Go 5.
They'll come back here now, and Lino will kick across field, but again O'Brien is perfectly positioned, will catch it on the full. And again they're thinking about expanding play, but a good chase in the end from Wakefield. Better from them.
Yeah, covered it well. That's what I'm talking about. It's just a different option other than Mason Lino, because otherwise the back three for Leigh, they can assume the positions, they know the source of the kick is coming from one location. Makes it so much easier for them.
Release, go 2.
Telly jumps out of dummy half, carries forward. Being a good signing for the Leopards.
Move, Kev!
Hasn't he just? That was one of the first signings that Leigh made, and it was a real back straightener for everybody, and went, oh wow, they mean business.
Yeah, certainly did. The recruitment that they did as well last season paying dividends now. And here's Lamb, who skips his way through. He's racing now, only the full back to beat. He's going to go straight past him. Try in the corner, and it's Lachlan Lamb who's got it. A burst of pace up the middle, and the Leopards lead at the Magic Weekend.
Just have a look at
it's a brilliant finish by Lachlan Lamb. Split open in the middle. Wakefield Trinity. I think the key to this with Lachlan Lamb, once in the clear, he didn't give Max Jowett, the fullback, any option, any time to get into his head. He pinned his ears back and he went for a corner. Let's take a look at the try then. Starts in the middle, some nice interplay. Lachlan Lamb steps through. There was a question mark of potentially an obstruction there with Mulhern. Not seen, not taken. And then Lachlan Lamb, that's the key, gets on the outside, does not let Max Jowett set him, does not let Max Jowett get in his head. He just goes, right, this is a foot race, and I'm confident, and I'm backing myself.
The burst of pace there for everybody to see. Was Mulhern in the way? Certainly Wakefield thought that Pitts, I think it was, who was obstructed.
Oh, right there.
But Lamb wasn't hanging around, he was away and gone. And the Leopards lead here. And an early chance for Ben Reynolds to add the extras.
Yeah, the more looks you get at that, the more you think there may be a case to answer for Rob Mulhern.
Yeah.
And worryingly as well, for Wakefield, there is an injury in back play as a player being attended to on the deck, a victim of that first collision in defence.
Here is Ben Reynolds. With 6 appearances for Wakefield in 2019. Here he comes from the sideline, and he strikes it, but just pulls it past the near upright, and it remains 4 points to 0. That early effort defensively from Leigh led to this opportunity.
And it just shows you were talking about the ball playing ability of the forwards, the middle guys in the Leigh Leopards jersey. John Asiata there has been one of the players of the season so far, and he's happy with himself, isn't he, Lachlan Lamb?
Wait a second, Will.
It was an on the run and on the fly bet.
Just be very careful
with Max Jowett. I've got more gas than you.
Just be very
Come
careful.
and get me.
I understand that. That's why it's a penalty. But Abercon, stay behind.
Wakefield
Stay behind.
not overly happy that try was awarded, but they'll kick downfield, looking to try and put some pressure on the Leopards here as Charnley will bring it forward. Scored in both the previous meetings
He's at the side,
with Trinity this season. Maybe looking to close the gap on Tom Johnson at the top of the Super League try-scoring charts today.
On the mark. Goal 2. Play with this.
All carried forward by Nisbet, gets the ball away as well, and here now is Hardacre.
Still 2.
He's going to be wrapped up. Eventually thrown to the ground, 10 in from that far touchline side.
Hold Kev, go third.
Oh, carried the middle there.
Muji! Hold fellas, go 4.
Pape looking to get busy, gets it away. Good strong tackle, middle of the field though. That was better from Wakefield. It was helped out by Proctor.
Yeah, Jay Pitts led the way in the previous tackle. Got the line speed going, and Liam Hood responded as well.
Lamb having a kick deep this time. Jowett catches it on the full. Wakefield will be glad to see him back. Got injured on the opening round of the season. They've missed him as well, haven't they?
Yeah, he's spent an awful lot of time. This is only his 3rd appearance of the season. Talented fullback. We know that much.
Go 2.
But they've it was the reason they signed Will Dagger, wasn't it? Let Corey Hall go to Hull KR. They wanted a fullback in to replace him. And the irony of it all is that Will Dagger now finds himself in the halfback, whilst Luke Gale watches on the second signing, who came in to try and help them out.
As Lino finds Hewitt, takes it up towards and over the halfway line. And Wakefield now with Lino challenging the defence. 30 out. Who play the ball here. And now they're going to have to find a kick. They'll stand up that kick. Pressure on O'Brien. O'Brien does well, gets up high. And now a penalty awarded. So Wakefield's good work undone.
It's the right call as well, because Tom Lynham's gone through, but it was never a genuine attempt for the ball. He's gone and he's put his arms in the face of Gareth O'Brien. He's mimicking a take. Have a look at Tom Lynham, left of your screen here. He's gone up. There's no attempt there to take the ball. He's gone to get in the eye line of Gareth O'Brien. There's actually a bit of contact with the head as well. So not just tackled in the air, but a dangerous tackle penalty.
Not too many metres gained off the penalty because it was so near the touchline.
Go early, Jack.
It does allow them off the try line, and now the telly will take another 10 metres downfield.
Hold it, Josh. Hold Josh.
So Wakefield at the moment,
go 1.
not quite reaching the standards they're going to need to push this Leigh team all the way. You know, it's Asiata, gets it away, and Moan runs it forward. Who played huge parts in the promotion push last season.
Go third.
Asiata again, challenging, bumps one off. Has he got the support? He has. A Pape, can he keep it alive? He does. The ball going through the hands now. It's moved wide here. Holmes cuts back in. Inside the 30 he goes. And Leigh once again showing their prowess with ball in hand. There's a Wakefield player down here.
Go 4.
And well, we might see a stoppage in play there, but Leigh will play on. They're 20 metres out, last one. And we are now going to get a stop. The Wakefield player down on halfway. And the referee finally got word. And play is stopped.
You're talking about Max Jowett and how little he's been able to contribute for Wakefield Trinity this season. I thought he did some amazing work off the ball then. Split down the right, down their left edge again, Wakefield Trinity. And they're going to have to be really careful on the edges, I think. It worries them because the middles have got that pass in them. They can get to the edges very quickly. But the clear-up work that he did, it was about communication. He had no direct involvement. He didn't make a tackle, but he was directing traffic. When they got on the outside of George Tafua, he conducted that defensive line and got them back into shape. That will be pleasing. Mark Applegarth will be looking for little moments, little wins within sets, and that's one of them.
It is. So stoppage in play here. Leigh will be pleased with their start so far. There is Josh Bowden. There it is. Oh, just got his head in the wrong spot there. He's a tough man to tackle at the best of times. Asiata, the footwork.
It's late as well, isn't it? I mean, Bowden had already set himself for the tackle on one shoulder. And then Asiata, lovely little shimmy. And he's got himself on the other side. So this will, Bowden will be taking some time out here for what you would imagine will be a head injury assessment.
Yeah, well, thankfully he's walking off. Let's hope it's good news for him and for Wakefield, but they've got to deal with this end of set here for the Leopards, who are 20 out centre field. Reynolds will play the ball, and this is the last one. Asiata finds Lamb. Lamb moves it wide to Latelli. Little dribble kick dropped by Line and picked up by Charnley. Charnley's over the line. Can he get the ball down? There are bodies everywhere. They thought they got it down momentarily. The referee's going to have another look at this. He's going to have another look at this. Well, Lachlan Lamb went up straight away to say this was a try. Let's find out.
Zero, yeah. No, he's checking it.
When he blows his whistle.
He's just checking it, mate.
So the live call of no try.
He's just checking. I've got no try. He's just checking.
And we need to go back to the kick, please.
To zero, yeah.
Pause it there. Lamb is offside to the far side, but keep going on this. Let's jog it through. Play on. In my opinion, it's more than 10 metres away. That's picked up cleanly, so we're jogging all this on. Now, does it get it down immediately before the referee blows his whistle? There's no knock on, that's fine. We've got no try on field. Before the referee blows his whistle, is the ball grounded? We can't see it at that point, and the referee's blown his whistle. And if you just go back on that one, that's probably the best angle to look at, please, because the ball is definitely up then before. If you can keep it going back on that one before, though, because the referee's clearly already blown his whistle at that point. So keep going right back. Right back. Keep going right back. Right back, please. Keep going back.
Held up. Held up.
Right, so I need to go back to the original angle. I can't see when he blows it on this. It's up at that point, and I lose the ball. Pause it there. Pause it there. Pause it, please. Right, in my opinion, the referee has already blown his whistle before it gets to ground, so I've already made my decision. Thank you.
Next will be one.
So, the referee's whistle has halted Josh Charnley. He did get it down, but not until the whistle had blown, so it is going to be a play of the ball. That's not being well met by the Leigh Leopards fans, John Wells.
You can understand why, because at some point the big screen clearly showed Josh Charnley grounding the ball. The all-important thing is when the referee has blown time off, and in the video referee's opinion, that was before that ball was grounded. That's the reason we're out and we're underway again.
Yeah, ball centre field. Asiata drops it back underneath, but more pressure coming here for Trinity. Can they hold out?
Go one.
Pape, Asiata gets it away. Ball carried forward strongly. Mulhern.
Two. Move. Hold it.
Pape looks around him. He sees Asiata and Lamb to his left, and that's where he's going. But marker defence does really well there. Gets it Pape before he can offload it.
Line, boys. Line. Third. Go third.
Now they will come to this near side. Lamb with options, fires it to Latelli, tries to get on the outside. He's going to have to go to ground. As Wakefield again defend it pretty well, but more pressure incoming here. Lamb.
Still four.
Pape. Amon, short pass, and now they're in. Now they're in. That was too easy. Rob Mulhern crashes over his first of the season. And the lead pressure tells they double their advantage. They might not be chasing that 30-point win just yet, but they're well on the way to potentially going third in the Super League table.
There's so many elements that are good to watch about this, and we talked about the shape before and how easily they drop into shape. We've also spoken about how good these middle forwards are at picking that pre-line pass or that connecting pass to a backline shape, and it plays havoc with the defensive decision maker. If you're in the defensive line here, you've got an eye on two different things. Once the ball comes out, I mean, look at the options they've got in the background as well. Very, very difficult to pick the right one. This is a lovely cushion pass. That's superb from Amon to Mulhern. Hits the line hard. It's a great spread as well. Lovely quick hands. And then a step and a short ball. And Mulhern is the second try scorer for the Leigh Leopards inside the quarter-hour mark.
And this assignment for Ben Reynolds significantly easier than his first attempt, as he looks to put 10 points between Trinity and the Leopards. Kick is good. And Wakefield's wait for a win doesn't look like it's going to end today.
Just take a look at the shape that the Leigh Leopards have got here. Yes, the try scored through the middle, but look at the right of your screen. Take your eyes off the ball. Look at the options they've got. That plays havoc with it. If you're in defence and you're making a decision, do I stay or do I go? Yes, the first danger is always the ball, but they are so good in taking up those attacking positions, and they move into those positions so quickly.
Lamb will catch it. Here comes a try score. He comes up with an error. Picked up by Proctor. He's offloaded it. Ball's kicked away by Leigh. Jowett will get it back.
0. Move. Let's keep going. 0. Hold.
So Wakefield have it. And now Batty into the action, takes it forward. Well, that was a big collision.
They've been in this position so infrequently this season that the temptations to panic and try and score now, to try and get over and try and get 4 points and add to that 14 try total they've got for 2023. My advice would be spend time down here. Spend time away from your own stick. Spend time with the ball in your hand.
Well, they're trying to force the pass and, well, they didn't listen. They didn't listen. That was such an unnecessary error from Wakefield. And they can't take advantage.
Shot clock on.
It's a good first contact that gives them the opportunity. Puts them in position. It was Sam Hewitt who made a really good connection. But yeah, but it's just you kind of understand why they're in the mentality. Of course, you understand why they're in the mentality that they are. They've not won a game all season. They've scored very, very few times this season. But just try and apply a little bit of patience there. It's a great position to be in. Just enjoy being in that position. Spend time there. Apply some pressure. Turn up the heat a little bit on this Leigh defence.
Well, we mentioned right at the start those ever-presents for Leigh. In contrast to that, Wakefield coming into today used 35 players already, and there's not that cohesion, there's not that familiarity there, is there?
Yeah, and it's not just the numbers either, it's the numbers in key positions, and Max Jowett would be a perfect example of that. We've spoken about that, haven't we, a couple of times already. You know, you want your spine players. You won 6, 7 and 9. We did a piece on them 6 or 7 weeks ago, and they'd had 7 or 8 combinations of that 1, 6, 7 and 9 in as many weeks. It doesn't breed anything other than inconsistency.
And that's what we're seeing at the moment. As here now come the Leopards again.
5.
I see Hatter was up in support there. And Pape will play it on the 5th tackle. Lamb will go high here. Jowett waits, knows the pressure's coming, and he's going to get tackled as soon as he catches it. And Wakefield are back in their own 20. As Lynham carries. He's wrapped up. Crowd building up here. Day 2 of the Magic weekend. It's always a little bit subdued, isn't it, after the morning after the night before, John, in Newcastle.
Walking back to the hotel last night, I saw some of those fans from day 1, so I'm not surprised it's a bit quiet.
Oh, the ball's come out here, and it's a knock-on. It's another Wakefield error. And they cannot afford to keep doing this, Wakefield. Their completion rate, 43% at the moment.
He's moving forward on an upright and loses it.
Eddie Batty is fighting to get to his feet. Look, I mean, he's got a case, he's got an argument, hasn't he? Tom Amon's got his arms all over the ball.
Just moving forward on an upright tackle. No right. See you, boys, yeah. Just extra step.
Mark Applegarth looks on.
Heads in,
we give for a little bit of luck now.
Heads in. Head in, Matty.
There might be some more pain incoming for Trinity.
All in. Out.
The ball comes out. Base of the scrum, ball back on the inside to Lamb, but that was a forward pass. So Leigh come up with an error on their very first tackle.
I don't mind it, like to see it. It's creative, isn't it? We saw Salford with a beautiful play that led to a try late in the game for them. Ryan Briley flying through a hole after they manipulated the markers. I like to see this sort of stuff, first tackle stuff. The penalty off the scrum, the direct penalty off the scrum has changed the way that the scrum plays are being used by some of these teams, and some of the guys, the coaches who will get creative with it, can very often produce something spectacular. Didn't come off for them on that occasion.
Shot clock off. Ball in, Will. Ball in.
Well, we're about to see the return of David Fafita. back with the club. Last played for Wakefield back in September last season.
Hold now. Go one.
Can he provide an impact off the bench? It'll be interesting how he goes. Here he's about to come on.
Up and square. Hold.
And he will replace Proctor. There's a ball now in the hands of Leigh. Gets it away. The Wakefield fans cheer on for Fita.
Well, job number one is go forward. Go forward, take meters.
And listen to that roar. And he does carry it forward. And Leigh know all about the danger he will possess, and he'll be keen to wrap him up and keep him quiet. As now Leigh gets the ball out the back. Jowett moves it on to this near side. Croft going towards the sideline. He's over the sideline. And Leigh celebrate like they've just scored a try. They defended that well.
Yeah, Jack Croft just decided he was going to try and take Ricky Leotelli on the outside. Leotelli, look, he's no mug in defence, is he? Yeah, doesn't get the fend right. And he can go body to body, can Leotelli, and it's fairly easy for him in the end. Well, the good thing about David Fafita as well, because he carries that reputation, he's a big guy too. It's not just what he does in terms of the meters he makes, it's the defenders that he engages as well. So you expect 4 or 5 Leigh defenders to be on, hanging off various parts of his body, which should, in theory, free things up a little bit for the ball players.
Yeah. Maybe that's what they have missed in the middle of the field. They've got Leigh in their own half now. Can they put some pressure on this set defensively? The ball carried forward. Nisbet it is, and now that ball's been stolen. And it will be a penalty.
Hands all over it.
Nisbet channeling his inner Brad Fash there with a haircut.
Yeah, and it's Jay Pitts who's got his arms round it again.
Stay behind.
These are really grey areas. They're hard for referees to pick, aren't they?
Okay.
All in the touch then. And the Leopards coming forward.
Back.
Again, looking to add to their 2 tries early on here.
Time off.
So we're hearing down from pitch side that Josh Bowden has failed his head injury assessment. So Wakefield down to 16 then. As Pape will move it across the line. It'll go to O'Brien, finds Hardacre. Wakefield slide across and defend that well.
And it's significant as that as well, with Josh Bowden missing for the rest of the game. They now have effectively 16 players with which to rotate, and some of these guys, Fafita being one of them, Proctor being another, Batty being a third. These are not big minute players, so this is going to that will tell towards the end of this game.
You would think so. There's Leigh coming forward. Here's Lamb. There's a slip there in the line and a chance here going through. Nisbet crashing his way through a couple of tackles. He's wrapped up 8 away. Pape wants it played quick. Gets it away. Lamb now moves the ball wide. Reynolds got options, gets it away to Hardacre. Hardacre could have passed to Briscoe, he didn't.
Should have passed to Briscoe and didn't. They've got away with one there, have Wakefield, haven't they?
They have, but there's more pressure coming because they're coming right back the other way now. And they've got numbers. This time they're going through the hands. O'Brien, ball batted down, it'll be play on. It went backwards and Wakefield did defend it well. Eddie Batty comes up with the ball.
Well, there's a few Hail Marys in the Wakefield defence here, but it's working for them for now. I wouldn't rely on that tactic for the full 80 minutes, but just again, look, I'm going to labour a point here. How quickly Leigh Leopards drop into shape and how quickly they could do. They're not taking a set-up play. They're going play for play, edge to edge, challenge after challenge for this Wakefield Trinity defence. And you've got George Tafur on one wing and Tom Lynham on the other, who've managed somehow to come up with plays against the odds, really, to repel Leigh.
Well, I think Tom Briscoe will just be having a quiet word in Zach Hardacre's ear there, saying, come on, I'm stood here, you know, give me the ball. The chance goes begging. Hood has it at dummy half, last one. They'll go high, downfield, it's swirling around. Charlie sets himself nicely and takes it. Thinks about going on the outside, but will take the tackle 30 off his own line.
That's a really impressive take, that as well. I watched the track the ball through the air, and it wasn't your traditional spiral, but it moved an awful lot. But he's an experienced player, is Josh Charnley, isn't he? The other thing as well, you've got Will Dagger there who execute the kick. That's the sort of thing you want to see. Just that little bit of thought from Wakefield going, look, let's not all have it from one source.
Yeah, there's a bit of a breeze today, a bit of a nip in the air. And Pape gets it away. Amon carries forward, wrapped up 40 out from the Wakefield line. This is the catch, never took his eyes off it. Oh, an error from Lachlan Lamb. So they're getting the dropsies now, Leigh. And Wakefield get a reprieve.
Right, there's an opportunity now for Wakefield Trinity. You mentioned the completion rate. It's not improved much since we last talked about it, 44%. But crucially now, they start the set in an okay area of the field. They're not carting this ball in off their own 10-metre line. They're going to get an option at the end of this set to put a kick in a corner and apply some kind of pressure to the Leigh Leopards' defence.
Head in, Edwin. 1-2. Head in,
Wakefield have got the scrum then.
Head in.
Had to do a lot more defending already early on here
Ball in.
than the Leopards.
Ball in, Mason. Ball in.
The ball eventually goes in the scrum. And Lynham will bring it forward. Lynham, it's a quick play of the ball.
Moving forward, Tom. Go on, shot your 10.
And it's carried forward over on that far side. Good run from Ashurst. Wakefield's leading scorer this season with just 3 tries. Here's Fafita now, looking to get to an edge. Makes half a break. Good to see he's still got those pink shorts. He didn't throw them away. Set restart here and a bit on here. Hardacre and Fafita are going at it. Now, Tom Amon comes jumping on. And David Fafita is making an impact for Wakefield. Things are starting to happen.
It's a disruptor, isn't he? He's a disruptor. He's a manipulator of defences. He demands attention because of his physical size.
Go back this way.
The set restart was given because there was interference in the ruck. I think that what will follow will be what comes after this. So the set restart there for going in late on the ball.
6 again.
And Fafita reacts, but it's whether he keeps running, just keeps running, or whether that's a tension that's not rugby related, that's a tension towards in response to that. Yeah, and it is. It's a response to a late involvement from Ben Reynolds. Pick this one. Which way's the penalty going on this one?
Well, it's going to be interesting, isn't it?
Over it now. Over it.
Yeah.
Referee with a decision to make here.
There's discussion on whether this is a punch thrown by Ben Reynolds. It looks like an open-handed shove. No, it's not. That's a close fist.
Well, the crowd have seen that and the crowd have reacted.
Well, Ben Reynolds has got a problem. Ben Reynolds has got a problem. Look, there's not a lot of force, but that's a closed fist.
Well, the Wakefield fans have seen that and they want an action from the referee here. And Reynolds will have seen that on the big screen as well. This could be a big moment in Wakefield's season.
Neil. Okay, Ben.
So what's the decision going to be?
You've come in and you've thrown a punch. That's a sending off. You're off.
My hand was closed, mate.
You're off.
Red card for Ben Reynolds. A moment of madness. And Wakefield's gamble on David Fafita might just be paying its first dividends here. Leigh down to 12. Ben Reynolds, we've seen it on the screen. He didn't need to do it, and he's gone.
No, that's the real poor act from Ben Reynolds. It's not the force, it's not a proper punch, but it's a closed fist. And this is the original incident. That's arguably worse than what follows. So it's Ben Reynolds in late and high, whilst Fafita was on the floor, and then a sneaky hand round the back. Look, there's not an awful lot of force around that, but it's a close fist. You just can't do that. That's outlawed in the game. And what classifies as a punch to the head is a sending off. So by the letter of the law, that's the correct decision. Now, Wakefield, what have you got?
Well, we mentioned earlier they might need a little bit of luck. They might just had it. A moment of madness from Ben Reynolds. And all of a sudden, this game could be about to change. Wakefield now have the ball. Drop it off on the angle. Now they need to take their time.
Goal 2. Yep. Still 2.
Centre field. They'll move it out now to Mason Lino. Lino with a step. Tries to bump off one, does get the pass away. Pitts will take it forward. He's wrapped up and he's hurt. He's hurt. He's gone down. He's dropped the ball and he looks in a world of pain. And the referee's going to rightly stop this. That didn't look nice, did it?
It's a twist in the tackle. And it's a knee that's got caught underneath. Is it Matty Ashurst? I think that's.
I think it's Pitts, isn't it?
Scrum,
it is Jay Pitts.
It's a very Jay Pitts look-alike if it is Matty Ashurst. Yeah, that's one of the better players for Wakefield Trinity this season.
Yeah, it's a scrum. Yeah,
Nisbet grabs the shirt.
Back play, mate, so we're going to go.
Yeah, it's just an awkward landing, isn't it? Closes up the knee.
Okay, pal.
It is so rare you will see a rugby league player drop the ball, even when they are hurt, and that was such. Hopefully, well, he's going to get back to his feet. He's a tough cookie, isn't he, Jay Pitts, in fairness to him. 350 career appearances. Plays the game tough. But he obviously felt something.
Yeah, it just looks awkward, doesn't it? Nisbet, well, he's lost his legs there as Nisbet as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
When we talk about ninja-style tackles and hip drops, you know, I'm not so sure that's a clear case of it, and maybe more unfortunate than anything else. But what Nisbet's trying to do here is get the tackle back because Pitts has gone past him. The referee's got a decision to make here, actually. The more times you watch this, but the injury, first of all, we hope is not serious to Jay Pitts. He's been a real workhorse, as you say.
It's all that's set, boys.
Really significant player for Wakefield, particularly in defence. The average amount of tackles he gets through in a game, he's high 30s in a game. They've had to do a lot of defence, haven't they, in 2023. But him and Ashurst in the middle as well are very, very good.
Like you said, the more times you see it, it doesn't look great, does it?
Time off. Tom.
So first bit of good news is that Pitts is up and walking around and looks like he's going to stay on the field. Here's the next bit.
Well, there's a card coming.
It's dangerous contact.
There's a card coming here.
Dangerous contact.
And it's a yellow card. So Leigh down to 11.
Yeah, I've got no argument with that. It's putting a player in a position. Look, we play a contact sport, and it's beautifully brutal. Is this game of rugby league? But you owe a duty of care to your opposition player as well, and you abandon that duty of care when you drop body weight without your feet and swing around. It was clumsy more than anything. That's not a deliberate malicious act, and that's why it's a yellow.
Will Wakefield get a better chance than this? They've got a set restart here as well. They're 10 metres away. They've got a two-man advantage. The ball's come out. And Wakefield waste another opportunity. And now for Leigh, they've got to get through this next 10 minutes. Another unforced error.
Because of the numerical advantage, they're going to find this, or should find this, significantly easier to pick the passes. Good line speed shown by Mason Lino there, just does enough to throw off the lead player.
Down to what for?
They can apply some pressure now next few minutes.
Play on.
They'll just want to box off a couple of sets here, won't they? Take some time out of that. Nisbet, Simbin, and now an error. So Leigh, their completion rate way down at the moment. They lead by 10 points to 0, but they've had a player sent off and they've got one in the bin as well.
There's a hand in there as well. Our cameraman doing some fantastic work this weekend. You've got to be very, very cute to pick that.
Shot clock on.
It was well disguised from an unidentified Wakefield player.
Heads in, boys. One more in here.
Wait for this scrum to feed here. Leigh understandably trying to take as much time as they can.
Head in. Yeah, you're good. Heads in. Head in. Shot clock off. Head in, Gaz.
There are the Huddersfield Giants. Ian Watson looking on. We'll see them take on the champions St Helens next up at the Magic Weekend.
Hold, boys.
And we round off day 2 with Hull FC taking on Warrington, who'll be hoping to go back top of the table after they were knocked off by Catalan Dragons yesterday.
Yep.
Here now is Mason Lino. Goes short. Ball taken forward.
Moves.
It's interesting now, this game, the neutrals are getting behind Wakefield. They want them to get some points here. There's a ball taken into the line. They'll move it now. Can they get to the edge? No, they can't. 6 metres away.
Go for.
Okay, ball that hit her hand, so that'll be play on.
First one by Leigh, isn't it?
Now we're going to have...
First one's knocked down by Leigh.
Maybe Wakefield will get another shot. Hey, look at Wakefield. I'm looking at those 2 early balls. They're firing players into Lachlan Lamb, aren't they? They're making him do some defence, making him...
Shot clock on.
Testing those shoulders out. Liam Kay, yeah, handed from Tom Briscoe.
Okay, let's go, get in!
And it'll be another centre 6 for Wakefield. They'd like some points at some point, though, you would have thought.
I think for their own sanity, they need to score a try, don't they, against 11. Psychologically, they need something here. They've got 4 players to the right. But they're going the other way. Hardacre needs to make the tackle and does. Kay wrapped up. They're going down that short side. Tafua wrapped up.
Good defence. Really aggressive defence from Apapi and Briscoe.
Go to.
Ball now comes across. Patty takes it in. They go racing out on him.
Stand 9-3, stand up, goal 3, surrendered it.
Wakefield, 2-player advantage. Lino goes out the back to Jowett, gets it away. Croft going for the corner, wrapped up, did well to stay in the field of play. Lyman thought for a horrible moment. He's going to keep his foot on the line when he picked that up there for a moment. Leigh defending, racing off their line. Last one. Surely Wakefield have got to go left. No, they go right. Ball now comes to Lino, ball over the top. Lynham, can he back himself? Well, he went for the kick. And it rolls over the sideline. And Leigh hang on. 11-man Leigh. Hold out Wakefield again.
Well, Mason Lino is fuming at his back row. He feels he needed a line runner, a front line runner to open up that play earlier in the set. It's a poor last option, well, poor execution anyway. Maybe the right idea with Charlie in his eye line, but poor execution of the kick.
Just there, mate. Wait. Is your square ready?
And more valuable seconds will be taken off the clock. Leigh understandably in no rush here.
Let's go, Rob.
They lead 10 points to 0.
Home. Move together. Go one.
And Leigh will be taking the time getting through this set. Good carries from the outside backs. Forwards will be having to be doing overtime in the middle of the field.
Go two.
So this is good play, smart play, sensible play from the Leigh Leopards.
It is. Let's get down to Jenna Brooks at pitch side then with a reaction to those outbursts of cards. Jenna.
Yeah, I can tell you that yellow card for Tom Nisbet went down terribly with the Leigh bench. They were fuming. I went and asked the match commissioner just to confirm why he was shown that yellow. He said it was for a hip drop in the tackle. But as I said, the Leigh bench are not happy.
Cheers, Jenna. Kick downfield. This needs to go over the sideline, and eventually it does. But a good set, as you mentioned there, John, from Leigh. They're handling this 10-minute period pretty well so far.
Yeah, look, it's smart play because you've got more natural space now between the forwards and the middle, and you're going to find yourself on the back foot as a middle unit. Middle unit's going to have to work overtime, so when you've got possession, you don't want your middle guys to touch the ball for the first 3 plays. Get those outside backs in. You've got some strong carriers of a ball. You look at Josh Charnley, Tom Briscoe, Zach Hardacre, Ricky Leotelli, the entire 3-quarter line can carry and can carry tackles.
All over the Wakefield 30. If they can get one back before half-time, and that will significantly help their cause. Offloaded, did that go forward? It did. Is there any need for that offload from Lynham? It's another Wakefield unforced error. And it gives the ball back to Leigh inside the Wakefield half.
Yeah, it's too many. It's poor decision making from Tom Lynham. Maybe the Jacob Miller wig might be too tight on his head. He needs to just have a think, take a breath, because they're on. I mean, his initial carry is great. You know, he's a good carrier of a ball. Get down, find your feet, and create something for the next player.
Here, boys.
Let's go.
As a player, Leigh, I presume, and all Super League clubs will train for issues like this. When you're down to 11, what do you do when you've only got 11 on the field?
Well, very often in training will play minus numbers, so they'll set up certainly on edges with natural overlaps and natural added numbers. So look, they'll know what to do. It's difficult to do it in the live situation like this. You can train as best you can for it, but ultimately it's decision makings and quarters of seconds.
Okay, well, let's find out then what's going through the head of the Wakefield Trinity coach. Mark Applegarth joins us. Mark, big chance for you here with Leigh. Players down.
Yes, yeah, obviously we've got to get a bit of composure about us. It's so erratic out there at the moment. You know, we're getting, I think we're down at 60% completion, so first and foremost, we've just got to complete. You know, yes, we have got a numerical advantage, but yeah, unless we sort that out, it's pointless. You know, it's like we just got to have that composure about what we do, play as shapes, you know, make sure we're getting them quick play the balls, you know, come up with nothing silly, and you know, 13 versus 12, you'll get the opportunities, but you're not going to get them if you don't keep hold of the ball. Simple as that.
David Fafita having that impact you hoped. I guess he would have when he came on.
Yeah, we've been missing some, you know, someone that can stress that ruck and get some quick play of the balls. Dave's definitely that, but as I said, it's not just about one player. We've got to, you know, we've got to sort of as discipline, as composure, and as handling errors out first, because, you know, it's all right doing it in training, you've got to nail it on game day, and that's where we struggled all year. So our biggest message will be just having that clinicalness about us and showing some composure when we do get into area field we want to be.
Good stuff. Well, Mark, good luck for this one.
Thank you.
Mark Applegarth, the Wakefield coach. Composure.
I'll tell you what, if they listen to what he's got to say, they're not going to go far wrong, because that was all perfect. That was everything that we've been talking about, everything that we can see from here. He just needs to spell it out very, very clearly to his players, because they're not listening at the moment.
They're not, but they've got a chance here as they move the ball out wide. Great defence from Leigh. What a tackle that is. Hardacre showing his quality there. As Wakefield now swing the ball centre field. Here now is Lino. Now he's got some shape out the back. Now he's got some shape, but Jarrett gets the ball away. Lynham surely over the line, but Charlie's got hold of the ball. What an effort defensively from Leigh. Look at the reaction from Tom Amone. Look what it means to those Leigh players.
Look, Josh Charnley's, I mean, he's celebrated in the same way that he would scoring a try. He knows the importance of that. It's a brilliant piece of play that gets him out and with a try-scoring opportunity, and it's Max Jarrett who nearly scores. Charnley with a try-saver, but it may only be in vain.
It is, and Tom Lynham denied just a few seconds ago, has got it down, but they want to check this. They are going to try on the field. Is Wakefield's season about to turn round?
Okay, we have a live call, the try on the field. Can we just check the grounding, please? It's the only thing we're looking at. Make sure he maintains possession of the ball. Both hands here, still got it in both hands. Need to make the tackle, keep it going. Right, go back on that, please. He only has to keep his fingers on the ball. Are those fingers off the ball? I can't see at that point. On that slow, keep it going, keep it going. If you go back on this one, I think if you can keep it going there and pause there, you can see clear separation. Thank you, I've now made my decision.
Wow. Tom. Execute. Mark Applegarth was talking, be clinical. Execute when you get the chance.
20 restart, boys.
Well, if a picture tells a story, that picture tells you everything. Wakefield playing against 11 players have just dropped the ball with a try line begging, and Leigh survived. Finally, Wakefield opened them up, and they can't finish it.
No, look, and credit to Leigh Leopards as well. I think the defence that happened in the set before, or the play before rather, when Josh Charnley was involved in a definite try-saving action there. I was...
Set restart here for Leigh.
Real credit to them. I think they've withstood this down to 11 men, of course. Back up to 12 very shortly, though, I think.
Now he's on, Nisbet is back out there. So Leigh negotiate a tricky 10 minutes, but they've still got a player less for the remainder of this game, as Nisbet will carry the ball forward. Just actually looking at Jake Pitts, he's hobbling around. You wonder, that knee problem, is that going to get the better of him? He's not moving very freely at all, and Wakefield, we know, have already lost Josh Bowden with that head, not a failed head injury assessment, so Wakefield doing it tough as well. See what would be brutal. If in this last minute Leigh were to score again.
Hold. Go third.
All now with Asiata showing he's not just all about the handling skills, he's quite prepared to carry when he has to. The Papian at dummy half. Lamb will take on the line. Just stumbled as he went to ground there.
Stand.
Last one. Looking around. O'Brien is down the short side. Lamb is slow to get to his feet here.
He was claiming the crusher tackle. Ball kicked off the island by Gareth O'Brien. They will lose a little bit, won't they, Leigh? They'll not be as slick because Ben Reynolds is part of that half-back partnership with Lachlan Lamb and that triumvirate with Gareth O'Brien at the back that looked so dangerous.
The problem is for Wakefield.
Just wait, Eddie.
Leigh will still pose a threat, won't they, if they get it down the right areas.
Absolutely, there's enough good players in that team, enough quality players, enough players that can beat a man one-on-one as well.
Yeah.
Moving it wide here, last seconds, the siren goes in the background, and they're passing it around, ball on the ground. Pitts, well, Pitts has just thrown it away, gets it to Lynham. Well, what an end to the first half. I think that might just sum up the first 40 minutes we've seen. Leigh in front early on. Lachlan Lamb with a wonderful individual try. Rob Mulhern went over for his first of the season. And then a moment of madness. Ben Reynolds shown a straight red card for a punch. Nisbet was in the sin bin, but Leigh survived that initial 10-minute period. Some big half-time team talks to come. All the reaction to come as well, but at the break, Mark Applegarth's side got a huge opportunity, but they trail Leigh at half-time. It's Wakefield 0, Leigh 10.
Thanks very much, Mark and John. That's as loose a 40 minutes as you're likely to see in the Betfred Super League. So much to talk about. And bottom of the table, Wakefield in with a chance here in game 1 of day 2 of the Magic Weekend. We're going to analyse the first 40 minutes and those cards in the company of Barry McDermott and 2013 Man of Steel, Danny Brough, after this. Well, pre-game we were predicting the Leigh Leopards to rack up a score against Wakefield Trinity and move to 3rd in the table. Wakefield, courtesy of some errant Leigh play and some decent play of their own at times. And of course, a couple of cards are very much in this game 1 of day 2 of the Magic Weekend. Let's have a look at the stats after 40 minutes. Slightly more possession for the Leigh Leopards. They will, though, bemoan 58% completion rate. Wakefield haven't been much better, but that maybe has been the story of their year so far. I'm delighted to welcome into the studio here the 2013 Man of Steel, Danny Brough, former Wakefield player and a man who's had a tremendous relationship with the Magic Weekend. We're going to get your thoughts on this game. Let's get straight into the analysis. Barry, Leigh opening the scoring through Lachlan Lamb early on.
Well, the first couple of minutes, little did we know what kind of drama we'd be in for. But, Bruffy, I want to ask your opinion. Do you think Lachlan Lamb there, when he goes through, do you think there's an obstruction?
No, I think Jay Pitts commits obviously to the defender, leaves his inside shoulder open, and Lachlan Lamb's a quick half-back who's gone straight through, I think, yeah.
All right, that was unconverted, 4-0. They backed that up, Barry, just about 9 minutes later with a Rob Mulhern try.
Listen, I love to see forwards, past 2 forwards. There's a lot of stuff going on behind, and that probably did distract Wakefield, but it was a lovely try and a lovely burst from Robbie Mulhern.
OK, 10-0 to the Leigh Leopards. Then all the action started. Now, as a former abrasive half-back, your thoughts on the Ben Reynolds red card after his interaction with David Fafita?
Yeah, I think obviously Fafita's come on and he's causing a bit of damage and getting under people's skin. That's his job, and I think Ben Reynolds has flopped on there, but I think if you're going to throw a punch these days, you've got to smash it and make it count. But obviously, he's cost his team there, has Ben.
Once it goes to the video referee, he has got no choice, Barry.
Look, you can't throw a punch in today's game, can you? I don't know what he was thinking when he went in. You describe it as a flop, Bruffy. It was like he was instigating, like he was trying to find a bit of trouble.
Shake of the head from Chris Chester, a disconsolate Ben Reynolds in the changing rooms. And then this, a yellow card. Keep an eye on Tom Nisbet. We believe this is for a hip drop.
Yeah, I think it looks a lot worse than it is. Both his feet off the floor. putting his body on one man and bending the leg. I think it's a tough one.
We're going to get well, Tom Nisbet goes from the field, so 11 men for Leigh Leopards and a heavy advantage for Wakefield Trinity. They couldn't, though, capitalise. I mean, this, in 2 shots, encapsulates their season.
Well, before we get to these missed opportunities, Brian, I said to you, after about 25 minutes, the mistakes that they're making, Leigh Leopards, are inviting Wakefield into this game. The only thing is, Wakefield are making just as many. This is a shocker, isn't it? That's his job, to put the ball down. Simple as that.
Well, we have spoken at length about Wakefield's misfiring attack all year. You have watched them all year, Danny. We picked out a bit of footage here, and you want to explain maybe where they're going wrong this year in attack.
Yeah, I think from this footage here, they're going to get to an area because Leigh's a couple of men down at the moment. If you look at Leigh's right edge now, they've got 3 men. Wakefield's got 4 on the left. So the 9 should show the ball open, send the first marker, play straight to the second, and give the half-back the ball. Then he's got basically a 4-on-3. They've gone the totally wrong way there, and you've got to play direct because they're a man down.
Bruffy, if you're Will Dagger, who was the half-back on that left side, what would you be screaming?
I'd be calling the boss ball, and if Liam Wood didn't give me it, I'd go over and say to him next time in no uncertain words, give me the ball.
And the next play, you'd be looking, they've got centre field here again, set up again.
So yeah, you go there, you generally have a 5-5 split if it's 13 on 13. At this stage it's 11 on 13, so they'd only have 4 at one side and 3 on the other, and they're not picking the right options in playing direct.
And that hasn't just, of course, been in this game, round 14. It's been the 13 previous rounds, all of those lost. Here is Mark Applegarth addressing his side. What they do have in their favour is a scoreboard that shows just 10 points between the two of them.
Yeah, they have. They've obviously got 40 minutes to, you know, pick up. They've got to pick short size now because they've got a man advantage. They've got to play direct down the middle, suck Leigh in, and play direct on the edge and play straight and square.
The message from Adrian Lamb to Leigh, maybe fix up even half of the errors we're making at this point that you've made. Absolutely. Even a half, and we've got to win this.
Absolutely, sharpen up because they look off. That first 40 minutes definitely off. You can see Adrian Lamb there, very animated. He knows that his side are up against it, especially with the fact that they're now down to 12 men, but they're just a little bit off, and that's the reason the 2 Lambs are...
You can read body language. What would he be saying to them there, Danny?
I think he's looking at them to stop crabbing, but you know, I think for Leigh they've got to be smart, get to the 5th tackle, put it up in the air and try and stoke Wakefield down in their own 10. And on the back of that, they've got to kick long and chase hard to try and get themselves back up the field.
Danny Brough, thank you very much for that masterclass. Enjoy the rest of Magic Weekend. So good to see you, and thanks for your company here on Sky Sports. We're going to take a break now. When we come back, it's the second half of Game 1 from Day 2, with Leigh leading Wakefield by just 10 points to 0, and have a man, of course, sent off. The Huddersfield Giants have arrived here at St James's Park, Newcastle, ahead of their Game 2 clash with the Saints. They recorded a much-needed win in round 13 over Castleford, just their 5th of the season. It's been a rocky road for Ian Watson and his men. Same may be said of the champion St Helens. They find themselves in 7th, knocking on the door of the playoffs. But Paul Wellens, in his first season in charge, he may have guided them to a World Club Challenge win. He needs to get their Super League campaign back on track. Well, just a reminder, they are coming up, St Helens and Huddersfield, at 2:15 on Sky Sports Arena. And the curtain will come down on Magic Weekend 2023 when the Warrington Wolves look to reclaim their place at the top of the table when they take on Tony Smith's Hull FC, who have found some form of late. Well, I wouldn't quite say Wakefield have found some form, but they found themselves still in the game against the Leigh Leopards, trailing by just 10 points at half-time. Ben Reynolds has been red-carded in that first 40 minutes. So a numerical advantage for Wakefield Trinity, but errors galore have hampered their chances of recording a victory here. Barry McDermott, Phil Clark, have you seen enough from David Fafita and Wakefield Trinity to suggest that their first win of the season may come here?
I'm not sure. I think the only thing that in favour of Wakefield is the mistakes that Leigh Leopards are making, the way that they're inviting them into the game. Who knows, they might click into gear, the Leopards, but I think it's still a 50-50 game at this point.
Leigh to tidy up their performance, or Wakefield to record a first victory, Phil?
I'd like to see Wakefield win, but I can't see it. I just don't think they're going to have enough points in them.
He switched his pre-match prediction. We won't let him forget that. Let's get back to our commentary team for the second 40 minutes in game 1 of day 2 from St James's Park. Standing by are John Wells and Mark Wilson.
Cheers, Brian. Mark Applegarth told us what he was going to sell his players at half-time. Composure, John, and that's what they need, isn't it? And Danny Brough mentioned it at half-time about playing what's in front of you.
Absolutely. He gave Wakefield Trinity a blueprint for success, and that was play straight, play square, pick short sides when they're available. Problem is they've got such a dominant half there in Mason Lino, who all the attacking play goes through, that Will Dagger in the other half position is going to have to channel his inner Danny Brough, I think, and get nasty and get nasty when he needs that overcall.
Could almost do with a Danny Brough style halfback now, couldn't they? Wakefield, but Leigh have got the lead, and we know they'll pose a threat despite being a player down. And Reynolds sent off for that punch on 27 minutes.
Go third.
And it becomes a real battle now in this second half. Leigh, a win for them will see them in the top 4. Wakefield just looking to narrow that 6-point gap between them and Castleford.
Go 5.
Pape has it, and here now is Lamb. Go high,
Edwin.
hanging kick. Jarrett underneath it, caught it nicely. Now they look to move the ball, but Briscoe is there to tackle Tafur inside the 20.
Good read from Tom Briscoe.
Oh, good team.
I was just looking at Leigh Leopards. I know they've not done the defence that Wakefield have, but they look fresh. And you were talking to me before we came on air about Leigh's training methods. You'd spoken inside the camp and said they were doing things differently.
Yeah, maybe not train as much as other teams, and maybe that's why, as we said coming into it, they're 10 ever-present players coming into this one. As Wakefield looking to bring the ball forward. Let's get down to pitch side then and get some reaction from Jenna Brooks.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. We saw the Leigh Leopards play for a period of that first half with just 11 men out there. Well, I can tell you that they didn't make a single substitution in that half. So they should be good to go for this second half. And just Jay Pitts, we mentioned him struggling with a knee injury. He's still out there. We spoke to the physio at the break, and he said that he's fine. He has had his knee struck, though.
OK, cheers, Jenna. Problem here for Jordan Crowther on his 100th Wakefield Trinity appearance. He got the ball on the back of the head there, and an unfortunate end to the set for Wakefield.
Bit of blue-on-blue action, bit of friendly fire. Mason Lino was trying to get the kick away. Crowther was already heading downfield, and look, you know, as funny as that may appear, it doesn't feel funny. I'll tell you now, they hurt just as much as anything else.
Well, he's going to be OK to carry on. Interesting stat that, wasn't it, from Jenna about the Leigh bench. So they have got replacements fit and ready to come on, and
it just further goes to underline your point. You know, they do look, they look fresh. They look markedly fresher than Wakefield in this game because they've done an awful lot less in terms of defence, but just generally, you know, having watched them, you know, the last 3 or 4 weeks, you know, it's a fit, athletic, strong-looking team, and you know, Adrian Lamb is rolling the dice on occasion, but it's coming off for him. This is you know, it's going to be the inevitable head injury assessment period for Jordan Crowther. It's just an unusual way that it's come about.
Yeah, it is, and as we said, joking aside, it's still caused a bit of damage there. We hope he's going to be OK. Josh Bowden failed a head injury assessment earlier on, so problems for Wakefield as well. The rotation of their bench could be tested in this second half. And a set restart here for Leigh. Messing about the play of the ball. Asiata gets it away. Not seen anything flash yet from Leigh. They're just looking to complete the sets.
Hold. Go 1.
Their completion rate well down on what they would expect as well in that first half, but crucially they have a 10-point advantage. And can they further extend it?
Go 2.
This will be a real blow for Wakefield if it's Leigh who come up with the points. Leopards have it now, 20 away.
Go third.
Pape, Asiata, dummies, goes, trying to bust his way through. He's within 5.
Move. Line 4. Line.
Pape waits. Gets it in the hands of Lamb. It bounces to him, gets it away here. They're looking for the ball back on the inside. O'Brien can't get it away.
Line, 5.
Last one.
Go, 5.
Pape's just going to dribble the kick. Too much on it, though. Reprieve for Wakefield. Oh, hang on. Hang on. The referee here.
And it's sticks. I've got 20.
Wants to check something with the video referee.
Yeah, wants now to restart play. Maybe there's a Wakefield foot in there. Yeah, so this will just be an assessment of whether there was a ball played out by Wakefield, and there was. Yeah, it's Max Jowett who stuck his leg out.
I was blocked by it.
And this will be a dropout. This will be another set of 6, and Edwin Pape will breathe a sigh of relief.
Great spot from Aaron Moore.
Yep. Rather than a 7-tackle set, Leigh Leopards will get another attacking set at them. Now, look, it's easier for Wakefield to defend in theory because you've got one less number, but also your half is also now doubling as a fullback in Gareth O'Brien. Started the game at fullback. He's having to play a dual role at the moment.
That's a handy restart, though, for Wakefield, isn't it? They're going to make the tackle over the halfway line, so could have been worse for Wakefield.
Hold, boys. Hold. Go 1.
Asiata finds Mulhern.
2. Move. Go 2.
Leigh fans not happy. They thought there was a flop there. Ball comes across to Holmes. Holmes sidesteps past Fafita. Tackle made. Pape clapping his hands.
Go third.
The Leopards on the prowl. Asiata takes it to the line, finds Lamb. Lamb gets it away to O'Brien. Charnley couldn't take it in. Unforced error as Leigh looked to expand the play.
Still looks good, the setup, but the thing for Wakefield, the advantage now is that it is a little bit more predictable. You know, it's clearly obvious which side of the field they're going now because they've got one less player. And just Gareth O'Brien couldn't find Charnley.
Well, it is a uncompleted set. Let's get thoughts then from Adrian Lamb. Adrian, your team in front, but you're a player down. What did you have to say at the break?
Oh, with 2 players down there for 10 minutes as well, so we're down to 11, and we defended our try line for 3 or 4 sets in a row. So pretty proud of that. You know, not ideal to be in that situation, but the effort in that I think 8-10 minute period was unbelievable. So it was just about making sure we get our heads back into the game here and get a decent start and then build again.
What's the plan? Obviously, you want to kick Wakefield out, but are you going to go hunting for points, or are you going to try and be conservative?
No, we've just got to manage these moments at the moment. You know, it's advantage Wakey at the moment. We've done a heap of defence because of that, down to 11. So let's just manage this next 10 minutes, make sure we finish on our terms, and then build pressure and start again.
We saw Ben, after his red card, looked disconsolate in the dressing room. What did you have to say to him at the break?
I didn't talk to Ben, just allowed him to be who he is at the moment and then work together with the group that can make a difference to this next 40 minutes.
Adrian, just last one. You didn't make any changes first half.
No changes. Just the way that it is at the moment. I'm happy with that. You know, with all of those 2 players going to the red card and the yellow card, I didn't want to make any more changes. Just let those guys work out. I was really proud of them.
Good man. Thanks, Adrian. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
Adrian Lamb, delighted with that first half stand when they were down to 11, and so he should be as well.
Yeah, and thinking on his feet as well, but you can only do that if you've got confidence in your players' fitness and ability, and he obviously sees that. He sees these players and works with them day in, day out. He knows what they're capable of. He knows the engines that these guys have got.
Move together! Go 4.
All coming off the Leigh end of the field. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because I think they'll believe if they get one more try, they've got this one, haven't they?
No, 5.
But they don't want to force things and come up with errors. Here's Lamb. Lamb weaves his way and he gets to an edge and he gets the ball away. And now come the Leopards. Ball back on the inside. Nisbet and Pape! Try Leopards! And that might be the one that wins it for them. Look at the celebrations. Derek Beaumont's delighted. The Leigh fans are delighted.
Good work.
And it's a 3rd try. 14 points to 0. Rock bottom Wakefield in big trouble here.
Finished by Pape, started by Lachlan Lamb. Last tackle play, picks a short side and has the confidence to run on the last tackle. I'm sure he started with a kick in his mind, but he's abandoned that when he realised there was something in front of him. Let's take a look at the short side option. Look, I think originally that was a kick because they had numbers, but just steps outside, draws in Lynham, Beautiful ball back on the inside to Nisbet, who hands on to Pape, who's been one of the players of the season for the Leigh Leopards so far through 13 rounds now and into this magic round. That's great composure, isn't it, from both Leotelli and Nisbet. And Derek Beaumont's a happy, happy man. He sees the significance of that try, down a number. But I tell you what, no shortage of confidence and no shortage of ability as well.
We said they would still carry a threat.
Cheers, Neil.
Not sure I'd want to be wearing one of those all day. Edwin Pape, what a signing he has proven to be. Championship Player of the Year last season, and now going about his life in Super League very, very well indeed. So no Ben Reynolds, so Zach Hardacre is taking over the kicking duties. And he had the extras here. Wakefield rocked early second half. Hardacre looking to make it a 16-point ball game. Flags go up. The Leigh fans cheer. 16 points to 0.
Cheers, Russia.
And it's just the speed of play ball. The last tackle, Lachlan Lamb takes it on the fly, but it's that lovely in a way that draws in Tom Lynham and frees up Leotelli on the wing. Nisbet back on the inside to Pape. And Leigh Leopards have been building for this. They were building for life in Super League right back when they were in the Championship. Pape was one of the first signings. Lamb joined them midway through the season. And it's long-term thinking, long-term planning. We talked about the guys that joined them at the start of Super League.
Boys.
Boy, that's some smart planning and some good foresight from Leigh.
Well, we know how important recruitment is in a salary capped era. I think Chris Chester's done a fantastic job. The players that he brought in, and obviously had the backing of Derek Beaumont, but they went out and recruited the right players. It's all right having money, John. You've got to spend it wisely, haven't you?
You've got to sell a vision as well. You've got to sell a vision essentially to what is going to be a newly promoted club into Super League. And we all know what the history is, and the statistics tell us is that they're going to struggle at the bottom end of the table.
Now a penalty. Wakefield errors continue. Jay Pitts looks bemused at the decision. But it's another out for the Leopards.
Yeah, it's just snaked up round the neck. I think it started round the ball with Jay Pitts. And Rob Mulhern, no worse for wear. Pressure relieving penalty for Leigh Leopards.
It's on this line, boys.
And Wakefield just can't catch a break, can they?
They can't. And you wonder psychologically how damaging this would be.
No effect there.
For Mark Applegarth and Wakefield, having seen Castleford win last night here.
Whole boys, go one.
And they've had that two-player advantage for 10 minutes, a one-player advantage for over half the game, and at the moment they still haven't got across the line. They were nilled in round 9 by Leigh. Is it going to happen again here at Magic? If anything, Leigh are looking stronger than ever. As the ball now goes to Asiata, to Lamb. Now they're starting to play a little bit more. Leotelli gets it. Can he find an offload? No, he can't, but he's tackled 15 away, and there's another penalty here. Wakefield are imploding at the moment, and you just feel that Leigh are starting to get that swagger back. They're starting to play with a bit more zip.
Yeah, it's forcing errors and forcing mistakes from Wakefield.
And it's just here, fellas.
I don't know what the penalty's for, if I'm honest. Difficult to see from that angle. But they're forcing mistakes, forcing errors from Wakefield Trinity.
So late hit, Zach Hardacre will take the 2 points on offer. Straight in front. Should be a formality. Well, we were talking earlier on that if Leigh were to win by 30 points, they'd go third. When they had a player sent off, we maybe eased up on that chat, but it's becoming a possibility now, isn't it, again?
We almost scribbled that stat out when Ben Reynolds got sent off. We might need to reinstate that again because they've got every chance.
Okay, oh yeah. Eddie.
You're not 10
already
kicked one.
Back a bit. Dave. Back a bit.
The Wakefield players are not back 10 here. And that's the point the referee's making. As Hardacre looks up at the Leopards fans high in the Gallagate end here. Hardacre looking to make it a 3 converted try lead. And that one goes straight through the middle. It's another 2 points. It's another blow to Wakefield's chances of finding that first win of the season.
Yeah, and it's changes in play, changes in tempo across the defensive line. Asiata would have been well in the middle of that shift play to the left. Asiata to Lamb. That's maybe where the late hit has come from. Referee allows play to go on to see how the play actually develops and unfolds. And he was right to do so, because Leo Telly was very threatening back on that inside ball, but then goes back for the first offence. That's the penalty. And Hardacre obliges, and it's 3 converted scores.
It is. Pape, 10 off his own line.
2. Move here, boys.
Hearn, who got his first try of the season in the first half. Now here's Briscoe. Not too many opportunities today, Tom. One-handed pick up from Pape, and here they come again. Hardacre, though, couldn't get the ball away. And Holmes outside him. Ball swings across the field. Asiata tackled by Batty.
Move, Will. Here, Sam. Good, mate.
Nice one for Leigh.
Go 5.
Ball goes back. Lamb going to hoist it high. It's going to swirl. Jowett waits. Will catch it on the full. Wakefield running out of time.
That's good movement in the tackle as well. Buys him an extra 2 or 3 seconds to set the defensive line.
2. Move T.
It's guys like Lynham and George Tafua, the previous carry and the current carry, and really need to get on the bikes now and help out a forward pack that's looking tired. It's looking stringy. It's blowing a bit.
Well, Leigh are about to make their first change. 54 minutes into the game. Joe Mellor is about to come on.
Round the back.
And the ball now working its way wide with Wakefield. Inside the 40 they go. Last one.
Police.
And they get a good positive end to this set. Lino is going to go high. O'Brien waits. The chaser's not really getting any pressure on, and you feel that Wakefield need to be at least competing under that high ball now.
Yeah, just when Wakefield when Wakefield spread the play and Jowett hits out the back, he's not got a lead runner on the outside. And the way they play, they send the fullback into the centre channel. So he's when he's passing, the Leigh defence can just map off. I think he needs to dig into a line. Rather than look for the pass, Max Jowett, when he gets in that position, just really put his foot down and accelerate into a hole.
Joe Mellor been sub in the last 6 games he's on. And Pape gets a breather.
Go for
as Leigh with Hardacre up towards the halfway line.
5. Move it, Harry.
Last one.
Go 5.
For the Leopards. Lamb just going to roll the kick, bounces up, but well dealt with, and Nisbet quickly gathered Lino's underneath the kick. I think that blindsided him. I think that's just caught him a little bit.
Well, he's been clouted in the Brave, these rugby players, but it's also saved them 20 metres. They'll start the set.
2.
David Fafita goes for a breather. Proctor back on for Wakefield.
Surrender.
Yeah, and this is where you need a George Tafua, you need a Tom Lynham carry every set now. You talk about the changes that are having to start to be made. You've got Fafita off, Batty off. They've had to do extra minutes because of Bowden's failed head injury assessment.
Go for.
Ball now working its way forward up to the 40. Last one.
Move. Stand up, Kev. Go 5.
Harry Bowes out into the action. Kick, off the cuff kick. And you don't want to be overcritical, John, but if you were just new to this game, you'd think it were Wakefield who were a player down, wouldn't you?
Yeah, they're playing panic rugby, and again, you know, it's one thing Mark Applegate having the right things to say, and you know, he's obviously communicated it to his players, but they're not able to maintain those levels of concentration.
Well, here come Leigh again. There's a Wakefield player down injured, I think. Josh Charnley's clashed. I think it's Croft over on the far side that's gone down, and Charnley instantly raised his hand to say, we need the medic on here. You see there, top left of your screen. There's a problem as well for Leigh. They've got a player down, so body's down all over. O'Brien it is who's down at the moment.
We always want to make sure, and I'm pretty confident we do get excellent medical care and attention in Super League. This attritional game, this physical game that we play.
Of course, and as we mentioned yesterday, whenever a player goes down, if they do stay down, everybody respects and understands that the medical staff need time to assess, time to work out whether it's, you know, a bad one or just something that they can recover from.
And I think they're being helped here by the staff, the local medical staff at St James's Park here as well. The whole stadium have done its best to welcome and assist the rugby league clubs when they've been here. I think some of the medical staff around there now are from this local area, as well as the club doctors and physios.
As Jack is put from the spinal board onto the transportation and lifted from the field. Round of applause here at St James's Park. Let's get back to John Wells and to Mark Wilson to take us through the remaining minutes of this game in Magic Weekend. Mark.
Cheers, Brian. As we come to expect now, the injured player receives a standing ovation. Hopefully it's more precaution than anything else, John, but there was a great deal of concern there. But we know these medics, they take their time, they follow the process, and hopefully all will be well.
Yeah, we'll keep our fingers crossed, and I'm sure Jenna's down there searching for updates, and we'll give them to you as and when is appropriate. The unnatural break in proceedings, I'm trying to figure out who that's benefited the most. And you've got to say Wakefield, with the player missing Josh Bowden and the size of that middle unit, they've had a 7-8 minute unnatural break there, which, you know, in theory should recharge the batteries a little bit.
Well, it should, but they're 3 scores behind and running out of time here.
Go third.
And Leigh looking for more points as Davis now into the action. Former Warrington man tackled inside the 40. Asiata looking, step in, still looking, finds an offload. Can Mella pounce on it? He knocks the ball backwards. That will be, well, I thought it was going to be play on, but I think the referee's going to deem the Asiata offload just drifted forward.
Where, fellas? Lachlan Lamb.
Let's head down to pitch side then. Jenna Brooks has got some injury news.
Concerning scenes, wasn't it? Jack Croft just got carried right by me. I can tell you that he was conscious, his eyes are open. So I'll get an official update from the club as soon as possible, but obviously very concerning scenes.
Yeah. Thanks, Jenna. I'll keep you up to date with that one as soon as we can. Wakefield have got a scrum now. Tafua will bring it forward. Not scored this season for Wakefield. There's a carry centre field, but Leigh happy to do the scruffy stuff, despite being a player down. They are firmly in control of this match, unless we get a miraculous Wakefield comeback. But again, they drift across and there's no one straightening out the defence.
That's what I'm talking about. Max Jowett should be getting that ball, stamping down on his right foot and going to try and punch a hole through that defence. He's doing neither at the moment. He's not finding a quick ball, and he's not going with a runner's attitude.
Go 4.
40 away. Batty will get it out to Lino. Lino, nice pass. Can Ashurst get the ball away? Can! But it's picked up by Hardacre, and the break could be on here, but Hardacre was just intent on finding the ground and getting a quick play of the ball. And Mella now finds Briscoe. Briscoe offloads off the ground. He wasn't tackled. Nisbet gets it out wide. Leotelli gets it. Can he find a pass? He might not need to. Still going. Ankle tap tackle. Stops him 15 away.
Try saving involvement. Try saving involvement from Will Dagger. He's gone and conceded a penalty, though, for laying on too long. But I've no doubt about that. If Dagger's not there and doesn't scramble to tap the ankle, that's Leotelli either scoring or finding someone who does. This is the break, second phase stuff. Leotelli, this is why it's so dangerous. In, away, fend, duck inside Lynham, and that's a massively important contribution. Does it keep Wakefield in the game, and for how long?
Well, it would have been a very kickable 2 points, but Leigh deciding it's tries they want. Remember, they win by 30, they will go third in the Super League table. And it could be on as they move the ball. Holmes, I think O'Brien was expecting him to stay wide there. 15 away, Mella in at dummy half. Asiata again, short pass. Looked a little bit forward, that one from Asiata. Play on is the call. And now they're 5 out. And they're going down that short side here with Lamb. Goes out the back and it's going to be a try. Charlie is over. Another one for him. 17 for the season, his 16th try in Super League. And he's after Tom Johnston. And the Leopards are after third in the Super League table.
And how good was the setup play from Ricky Leotelli? Top draw stuff. He had a big reputation in his move into Leigh, and he's put one on a plate there for Josh Charnley. 16 tries for the season. I don't think even he expected that, but Leotelli, the pass here, it was wonderful. Late movement from Wakefield in the defensive line. Lamb out the back to Leotelli, and he's just waited. All he's done is waited for Lynham. I'm not sure he needed to come in, Tom Lynham, but he's waited. He could feel it in his periphery, could see it in his peripheral vision, and it's just a spectacular pass. An awful lot going through your head in that moment, in that quarter of a second. That's great stuff. That's brilliant, and you fear that's game now, and you fear it's another defeat. And it could well be another scoreless game. Wakefield already nilled 5 times this season. Is it going to be half a dozen?
Well, it's a Super League record already in terms of nillings, and one they don't want to add to today. But the kick from the sideline. There he is, Josh Charnley, 16 in the Super League. 1 behind Tom Johnston. Great hat-trick for Tom yesterday. There's still time. Hardacre then. Tough kick this. But a chance to move 24 clear. Already kicked 2 from 2. Ben Reynolds was kicking until his red card earlier on. Here comes Hardacre. Wakefield players look on. Their task becoming ever more difficult. What a kick that is. Great kick from Hardacre.
Keep our standards, boys.
24 points to nil.
Go on, Neil.
Well, they've got a man extra on the field of Wakefield, but it makes no difference, does it, when you've got crisp passing and a precision on display, as we have from the Leigh Leopards.
Ready, fellas? Good.
24 points to nil, and let's head down to pitch side. Jenna's got more news on Jack Croft.
Yeah, I just spoke to the club. He's still being assessed in the dressing room, but I'm told it is largely precautionary. It was a combination of a head knock and also a neck issue. We, of course, wish him all the very best.
Okay, thank you, Jenna. Wakefield have got it back here. Now they're coming forward. 10 away.
4-2.
17 minutes remaining.
Right in the back.
Now they'll get it centre
Still
field.
2.
Batty, but his player outside him overran him. Can he find an offload? No.
10.
Desperate defence again from the Leopards.
Hold. Go for a good ollie.
The centre field they go. Late offload, but a ball on the ground. Bowes will drop it back. They come to this near side again. It's all off the cuff, but can they open up this defence? No, says Zach Hardacre. Makes a tackle 10 off his own line.
Hold, boys.
It's a 4-weight dummy half. Gets the pass away to Lino. Lino goes nice. This is a little bit better, but again they come racing in.
Brilliant tackle, Ricky Leotelli.
Go 5.
Oh, now we'll come across the field. It's kicked high. Tafur will bat it back. It's batted back. But the referee said it went forward. So Wakefield thought they were over, but the try ruled out.
They've got to the back end of the set. This is Tafur to get the ball back in play.
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
Referee has deemed this to have gone forward. Yeah, you can see why. Yeah, and that's the right call. Just with Will Dagger in the second phase play, they were looking to set up in an area of the field to have a shot on the fourth tackle, and just because of that extra offload that came out, it almost puts them out of position, and they end up on the fourth play working from a tight channel on the left-hand side. That's easier to defend.
Go on, get nothing off me.
We've seen Leigh beat Warrington last week, who were the league leaders coming into this weekend before the Dragons knocked them off the top. They're looking as though they're going to make it 6 successive Super League wins, potentially could be as high as 3rd at the end of play today, John. At what point do the Leigh Leopards come into genuine talk of grand finals?
Well, they keep doing the right thing. They're playing step by. If you ask the same question to Adrian Lamb, he'd say, "Look, you know, we're not thinking about next week. We're thinking about the next 10 or 15 minutes. We're certainly not thinking about showpiece events and grand finals at the end of the year. But look, they keep doing what they're doing, and they're going to force themselves into the conversation."
Yeah, there's the high kick, collision there. I think the Wakefield players come off worse. Ball taken at the back, and it will be play on. 15 minutes remaining. Poor pass again from Wakefield. You do wonder on this performance, John, genuinely, where is their win going to come from? Because they're not getting any nearer, are they, at the moment?
No, and they've had their fair share of injury problems as well as everything else. And now a loose carry from Mason Leigh, hands possession back to the Leigh Leopards. But, you know, other sides are going to go through injury issues and more serious than they've experienced at the moment as this season continues to bite. It's an attritional sport that we play, and squads will be tested, and you just may get a Wakefield side one week who turn up fresh against a side who are embattled and have numbers and players on the sidelines. However, I couldn't think of a better opportunity than facing a team for over an hour with 12 men.
Yeah, but it's Leigh who are looking to add to their points tally. Miller racked down 10 metres out, centre field. Davis jumps in there. There's Ben Reynolds. Well, he had a moment of madness earlier as Lamb now tries to weave his way in, and he's over. Lachlan Lamb, second of the afternoon for him. And the Leopards are closing in on the top 3. And Ben Reynolds' moment of madness. Well, his teammates have dug him out of a hole this afternoon.
That's brilliant stuff from Lachlan Lamb. He's improved, hasn't he, massively. We got a very early look. We got a round one look at Lachlan Lamb, who his father said was a player still developing, still learning his trade, still perfecting his craft, still honing his skills. Well, I'll tell you what, it must be a proud dad looking on. You know, the professional relationship is coach-player, but I dare say there's a little bit of dad in there as well that goes, "Oh, well done, son." It's lovely feet. It's strength to hold off the Wakefield Trinity defenders. He's bangs down that left foot twice, gets on the inside of Max Jowett, and given where this is, just to the left-hand side of the uprights, you'd back Zach Hardacre to bang over the extra 2, and you have that magic number, the 30-point margin that they needed to make a real story, a real statement in Super League.
You could sense when we spoke to Adrian Lamb earlier, you could tell he was fiercely proud, wasn't he, of that spell when they were down to 11.
That's all he wanted to talk about.
Yeah, you could hear it in his voice. And you get the feeling that whilst this is an expected win, it feels like another big win, doesn't it? Another statement of intent that Leigh can do it tough when they need to.
Yeah, and it underlines that this is genuine quality in a team that are playing for one another, because it would have been incredibly difficult to kind of come out and talk had Wakefield produced a win today, given who Leigh had dispatched en route to today, given the form they'd picked up. They're the form team in Super League. Last 5, won 5, lost none, conceded only 28 points in the process. So this is the form team in Super League that you are looking at.
Hardacre looking to add the extras again. The flags go up again. Leigh, as it stands, going into the top 3 of the Super League. And that man having a big part, a big say in the outcome today.
Yeah, Wakefield defenders reaching, they're tired, they've done an awful lot of defence. They've missed 26 tackles now by our reckoning, and have made close to 300, nearly 100 more than their opposition. And Zach Hardacre diffuses the attempted short kick-off again. Mid-range kick-off, really, not executed all that well.
Go on, you stole it, one.
So, viewers on main event will be leaving us in a couple of moments.
Move! Goal 2.
As the action continues here at the Magic Weekend, game 1. And it's seeing a big win for the Leigh Leopards. As now they'll drive the ball forward. Up and over the 14. You wouldn't rule out more Leigh points at the end of this one. And this really has been a bad day at the office for Wakefield Trinity.
Well, they're not putting the cue in the rack, are they? When they've played a long period of the game with 12 men. But they've been conservative with their substitutions. Chamberlain's on, Simanafangai's on now. Lamb, quick ball, that's brilliant.
It is. Leotelli again, rampaging. Ball back for Lamb. Can he find an offload? No, not on this occasion, he can't. The arm was free.
Hold that, please, Neil.
And more threat again. They've got it all over the field, this Leopards side, but that man Leotelli is having a wow of a game today.
Well, they've got match winners in the 3 quarters. They've got all the experience in the world and the excitement and the strength and the ball control of Ricky Leotelli. Then you've got man of steel winner in the other centre. You know, he was signed as a fullback with Zach Hardacre, but he's made that centre position his own. This is a dangerous team, a really dangerous team.
Goal 2.
And what's the operative word? Is it dangerous or is it team? Because look, I think they've been exceptional. You know, there's no one man who's shone above anybody else for the Leigh Leopards. This has been a real team performance.
It has. They've conceded a penalty. Wakefield looking for points.
Hold it, Amber.
What can they do? You go back to that line, and when he dropped the ball over the line, John, they would have been back within a try going into half-time. And that drop ball just summed up Wakefield today.
Yeah, we were fortunate enough to talk to Willie Peters, the Hull KR coach, in the dressing room at half-time, and he was talking to his men about taking moments in matches. And it'd be a similar sentiment there, wouldn't it, with Tom Lynham? There was a moment there, a moment that was missed. Yeah. And you don't realise the significance at the time.
Well, here's Lino now, trying to engineer something. Ball moves across, could be a chance here. Jowett into the line, Jowett is over! And finally, he gets over the line. 9 minutes remaining. The first try for Wakefield, and Jowett decisive.
And that's the difference. Pin your ears back and go. You don't, because of the way that Wakefield play, and because of when Max Jowett gets the ball, he hasn't got a back rower running a line for him. He hasn't got a centre running an angled line for him. It's up to him to carve out the space, and this is the different one for Max Jowett now. Sees a player just out of position and decides, right, I'm having a go. That's a mentality thing. Good spread play by Wakefield. Yeah, lovely little decision. That's a great decision for Max Jowett, and they've not scored enough tries this season. But that's consolation. It's scant consolation. But at least it's not a 6-0 of the season.
Big 8 minutes, boys.
Consolation. Has more implications for Leigh in the short term than it does for Wakefield. There's a kick from out wide. Is waved away. So 30 points to 4. Jowett over the line. And as of course here at the Magic Weekend, you get to decide our player of the match. You can vote now via the Our League app. The players for you: Lachlan Lamb, Josh Charnley, Rob Mulhern and John Asiata. Head over to the Our League app now and have your say on today's player of the match.
Ooh, I'd narrow that down by 2. I wouldn't tell you who they were, but one's Lachlan Lamb.
Well,
and why is he not there, by the way? Why is Ricky Leotelli not in that 4? Have they not been listening to what we've been saying?
I'm just wondering who you're digging out, actually. I don't know who's in charge of picking those 4 today, but we'll be having a word with them shortly, I'm sure. 30 points to 4 then.
Right, so Joe, goal 2.
And Leigh have managed their subs bench incredibly well. Reynolds, we know, sent off, then a Simbin to follow. And they've waited 70 minutes before Nathan Wild gets onto the field as the last substitution. They've done really, really well and managed that situation well.
Well, on the ground. And once again, Leigh, our first to react. So 6.5 to go. Don't forget, more live Super League action on the way. St Helens, the champions, taking on Huddersfield. Two teams desperate for 2 Super League points. That is on Sky Sports Arena today. And we round off the Magic weekend. Could be a cracker, this. Warrington have been knocked off the top. They take on Hull FC. Can Tony Smith get a win against his former club? We know Adrian Lamb is going to be pretty happy with this. Whatever the outcome of these final few minutes. Found out quite a bit about his team today. Had to defend for 10 minutes with 11 players and did it well. And they've played for over 50 minutes, down to 12. Ben Reynolds sent off early in the game, and at that point you wondered if it was going to be Wakefield's day, but the Leopards have made sure it's not been anywhere near Wakefield's day.
It was door opened, wasn't it, with Ben Reynolds' action, and Wakefield had the opportunity to kick it through, and they didn't. And I'm not sure, Adrian Lamb, maybe rounds 2 or 3 or 4, he would have found out and learnt a lot about his side. I think today he's had it confirmed.
Well, there was a chance there. Lamb will pick it up, though. Lamb on his own 20, dragged to the ground, but Wakefield, again, had a little bit more shape about them there.
Yep. Just going back to Adrian Lamb, I don't think he's learned anything new. I think he's had it underlined what he's now come to expect. And the standards that this Leigh side, this Leigh club are setting. They made a big statement, didn't they, on the opening weekend. And they said, we're not here for fun, we're here to take part and we're here to stay. And they've proven that emphatically.
They have. All carried forward, strong carry as well.
Go third.
See a man of Van Eyck. There's the ball over the halfway line.
Here, David.
Can the Leopards get another try? Davis with the footwork, edges his way over the 40-metre line.
Go 5.
Last one. Lamb going to go high this time. Into contact. Comes Jarrett, and he comes up with the ball. And Wakefield get it back.
Yes, sir. Go 1.
Lynham will carry.
Release, go 2.
And now Tafua, who's had no real good ball, has his main work has just been running out of his own end, hasn't it?
Yeah, and the game, look, the game's cooked, the game's done. There's, understandably a lull there from the crowd and from the players. But you look at Wakefield and you go, they have decent players in their ranks. Mason Leno's rumoured to be joining all and sundry. Matty Ashurst, I always think, gives 100%. I think he's a quality player. Jay Pitts, another one. But as a collective, have they got the collective talent in that side to do anything in the Super League? And the answer so far this season after 14 rounds is no.
Well, I'm not sure that kick was the right option there either from Wakefield. Disappointment for them. As Leigh will carry off their own 10-metre line. See what it was with a kick through.
Hold. Go 2. Good. Still 2. Third. Move extra step, Matt. Good, mate. Go third. Still got it.
They've mixed it up well, haven't they, Leigh, as well? This hasn't been 5 drivers and a kip. They've used short side. They've picked options when necessary. The workload has been spread evenly. Leo Telly's tops the metres chart with 130. Hardacre's up there, both 3 quarters there over 100 metres. Mulhern, a hard worker in the middle of the field.
And now Mellor gets the ball away to Hardacre. Holmes has it, goes back to Hardacre. Hardacre wants to come down this near side to get it away to Briscoe. Briscoe dancing down the sideline, steps back inside. Can he find an offload? He does, but there was Tafua. Right place, right time to regather the ball. Wakefield, a tired bunch, a beaten bunch. Derek Beaumont will enjoy his afternoon, I'm sure. He has invested heavily in this side, and you know what? You can see that his money has been well spent.
He's invested it heavily financially, but he's invested heavily emotionally, hasn't he? In Leigh, in the club and in the town as well. I think the two are inseparable.
Oh, nice little bit of footwork there, and look forward they're going here. They'll get the ball away. Ashurst trying to get it away. Tafua couldn't take it in. Oh, Wakefield. A chance goes begging for them. Lovely run from Pitts.
It's nice from Pitts. He's looking around for support, and Ashurst, just as he's falling. Yeah, look, it's a tough pickup for George Tafua. It's round his bootlaces.
Shot clock on. Leigh scrum, fellas.
Yeah, and that sums up the mood of every Wakefield fan as well as yourself, George. It's been another frustrating afternoon for Wakefield Trinity fans.
It has. And wait for a win goes on.
Heads in, boys, not as much time.
We've got Leeds next week. And they're at Hull Kingston Rovers, and then at home to Salford.
1, 2, 3. 10 seconds. 4, 5. 5 now.
If they can jag a win somewhere, anywhere,
shot clock off.
the season
Kev, just let him put it in.
could turn around, but it looks a long way off just at this moment in time.
He's not been put it in. Just say, relax, let him put it in.
Well, this has been an impressive performance from the Leopards.
It's only Kev who can do it. Okay, ball in now.
They're 10 points to nil inside 13 minutes. Ben Reynolds then sent off for that moment of madness.
I like what Leigh have done as well. As Charlie breaks down the field, that's a attempted steal one-on-one from Wakefield, so a repeat set of 6, a set restart for Leigh. I like what they've done. They've played the match. They haven't played the opponents. They haven't played the occasion, which can get to some people. They've played the match. Yeah. And that's, you know, there's a degree of professionalism there that you should tip your cap to.
Well, they've, as a team, got the most tries of anyone in Super League in the last 10 minutes. It's the one in the last 30 seconds that would push them up into third place. Or are they happy with their lot? As Hardacre will offload it to Mella. Mella gets it away. Siamana Fangai will take it forward. Maybe 2 more tackles at most remaining here.
Go for.
They're going to go down that left-hand side. Lamb with a short pass. And this is it. Last tackle of the game. The only thing at stake, will they be 4th or will they be 3rd? They're going to put the kick out wide. Leotelli's after it, but Wakefield come up with it. And that will do it. Might not have been the 30-point win that would have taken Leigh into 3rd place. But they're in 4th. Ben Reynolds sent off in the first half. It looked like Wakefield would have a genuine chance at winning the game. But tries in the second half from Ipape, Charlie and Lamb means that Derek Beaumont wears his jacket with great pride. Lachlan Lamb outstanding today. 2 tries for him. Wakefield remain rooted to the bottom, in deep trouble at the bottom of the Super League table. But Leigh are looking up. It's handshakes and smiles all round for the Leopards. They've beaten Wakefield by 30 points to 4.